Good morning. How are you? This is Vitra Anthony with Vitra Anthony Presents. I just want to come to you this morning with something really quick, some words of encouragement, and then a few examples of how to get it done. But I want you to know that you can do this. You can be the parent that prepares your child for success. You don't have to be the smartest person. You don't have to be a teacher. You don't have to already know what's going on. But you have the tools to prepare your child for success. Main thing you have is your child will listen to you. They love you. They are waiting on you to give them that guidance. They're waiting on you to help them and to give them some structure. So you have half of the job done. I want to talk to you about how to help your child with reading. I wrote down a few little pointers, and these are some things that teachers do in the classroom. And the reason why I harp on reading so much is because reading is the foundation for everything. A child that can read can go places. A child that understands what they read can command things and demand things. So reading is such an essential part of being prepared, of being successful. So let me give you these pointers. When your child is reading, when they get done with the story, number one question you want to ask them is, can you change the ending? If you were writing that story, how would you make it end? And allow them to tell you what they would do different. You're working on some critical thinking skills. They got to go back through all of this. It's all about critical thinking skills. They'll have to go back through the story. They'll have to change some things. They'll have to make some decisions. So when your child is done reading the story, first thing you want to ask them is, how would you have changed the ending? Okay? Number two, next thing you want to ask them, what was the main idea of the story? What was that story all about? And have them talk back to you. Not only are we working on reading comprehension, not only are we working on thinking skills, but we're working on communication. We are teaching them how to hold conversation. We're teaching them how to verbally express their thoughts. And that is such a critical skill. So after that, so we've asked them how to change the end of the story. We've asked them what was the main idea of the story. The next thing we want to ask them, describe the setting. Where did this story take place? Did it happen in a few different places? My grandson loves Junie B. Jones books. He loves Junie B. Jones books. And the Junie B. Jones books, the setting changes throughout the story, which is really good because the students have to be able to pay attention. So, change the ending. What was the main idea? Describe the setting of the story. The next thing is, what is the problem in the story and did it get resolved? Hello, Cammie. How are you? But what is the problem in the story and did it get resolved? Now that's two separate questions and you have to give them time to answer both. What was the problem? Every book has an issue. Every book. So have them to explain to you, okay, what was the story about? What was the problem in the story? And then did it get resolved? Meaning, did it get solved? Did it come to an end? And you could even take it as far as what did they do? And would you have done anything different? You can expand on those questions. Number 5, describe the main character. Have them tell you who was the main character and describe the main character. I would even take it as far as, does the main character remind you of anybody in the family or any of your friends at school or anybody else? Can you make a connection? Maybe somebody at church reminds you of the main character in the story. That gives them vision. It gives them the opportunity as they read to start visualizing places, people, things, to make connections. And that's one of the things that young kids we think that that's something that they just automatically know how to do, and they don't. They have to be taught how to make connections with things. So having them to describe the main character and then to see if that main character matches up with anybody, those are great exercises for them to do. And the last thing I want you to ask them is, what happened in the story? Not the main idea, but what happened? What have them to tell you what's going on in this story? What are the people doing? Where are they? What's going on? What happened? What happened? Have them to explain that to you. Now, somebody asked me, it's all about reading, but how can I take these things and connect them with math? So let's go back. And if we ask our kid, if we're helping them with reading, then we go over to math. We can put at least 3 of these things into place with math. Have them to redo a math problem. If you're helping them with math and you think they got it, then have them to rewrite another problem and redo it. So if it's 5 times 4, because they're learning their 4 times tables, and they can answer that, then say, can you give me another one? See if they can figure out, okay, I'm working on 4, so another problem could be 6 times 4 or 4 times 6. Same thing, but sometimes some teachers teach whatever we're working on, that should be the first number. Okay, so have them to redo it in their mind. The next thing is what goes along with the main idea would be, if we're working with math, explain to me how you got the answer. I don't want to just see you do the problem, but have them explain to you how they got the answer. Have them explain to you by giving you math facts. Well, I got the answer because this plus this equals this, which made this plus this equal that. Okay, so have them walk you through by using math facts. That way you know that they understand what they're doing. And the last thing, which could go along with settings, is have them explain to you the order of operations. And one of the things, I'm not really sure when students learn this. I learned it in 2nd grade because my mother was a teacher. And so it was just something that I picked up because I was always at school. But please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. That's the order of operations. Please, the P stands for parentheses. So whenever you're doing a math problem, whatever is in parentheses goes first. You do that first. The E, please excuse. The E stands for exponents. So after you do whatever is in parentheses, then the next thing you do is anything that has an exponent. Exponents are the little bitty numbers up top. So it might be 10 with a little 2 up top, 10 to the second. That 2 is the exponent. So we got parentheses, we have exponents. Please excuse my. M stands for multiplication. My dear, D stands for division. Aunt or aunt, or however you pronounce it. My dear Aunt Sally. The A stands for addition. And the S for Sally stands for subtraction. So please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. And that's called the order of operations. And whenever you see a math problem, remember that. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally and use that to solve that math problem. So there you go. Just a few pointers. When your child is reading, make sure you ask them questions. Do not just let them read the book and set it down. Talk to them about the book. It works on critical thinking skills. It works on comprehension. It increases vocabulary. It teaches them how to communicate their feelings. So these are very critical skills. They make a difference in your child's life. This is your girl, Vitra Anthony, with Vitra Anthony Presents. Follow me on Facebook, Preparing My Child for Success. I'm here every morning, 6:10 a.m. every morning. For all of my YouTube watchers, please remember that all of my videos come from Periscope. So when you see me waving at people or smiling or saying hello and good morning to other folks, it's because I'm liking all of the interaction that I'm getting on Periscope. Have a great day. It's almost Friday. Weekend is almost here, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye.